Hi, it's the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your September 2017 mid-month readings. Thank you so much for joining us here today. Welcome to any newcomers. Yes, as you can deduce from my background, I'm still in Poland, still in Eastern Europe, although I will be back in my more or less home base of California in about another week after having been gone for some time. Couple of months this time. As those of you who follow me regularly know, I do travel quite a bit, although thanks to the internet, I work the same no matter where I go, both with my general postings and personal readings. So thank you for continuing to follow, like, share, subscribe. Your support, feedback, and comments are always welcome and most appreciated. Thank you. And to those of you who continue to keep me so busy with personal one-on-one readings and reaching out for those, whatever corner of the globe I'm coming from, thank you for that. Always an honor and a pleasure. And thank you to my regular clients as well. If any of you are interested in a personal one-on-one reading with me and you haven't read with me before, you can go to my YouTube channel's homepage, even though I know apparently they've changed their format again, but go to my YouTube channel's homepage, click on the About or Description button or word, which should give you some more information, and my email address, which is Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I would be delighted to work with you. Turnaround time for personal readings, live or recorded, is usually pretty quick. I do readings full-time, 5 to 6 days a week. It is what I do, so I can usually get back with you within a day or so of your initial contact with the information, and almost always schedule a reading within a 1 to 2 week period of time, almost always within 2 weeks. And I do a wide variety of readings: love and romance, compatibility charting, career, work, and finance. I do career overviews of 6 months or a year. I do life overviews, which addresses all the main areas of your life for a year overviews, a year look ahead. Gift readings, channeled messages from past on loved ones. And I also offer package deals for regular readings. Some of my clients like to have regular life readings at the beginning of the month or every other week. And I usually offer those in package deals of 3 months or more. So if you're interested in any of those, send me an email. We'll go from there. Check your rising and your moon sign videos as well. They may play out a little more predictively for you than your sun sign, and they just may give additional insight and clarity. It's not necessary because some people don't have what they need to find out their rising and their moon sign. Sun sign is sufficient. It's just that if you have them, it can give you a little bits of additional insight and clarity, or may play out a little more predictively for you if your sun sign doesn't resonate, during one reading at some time or another. So if you have that information, try to watch all three if you can. So moving right along, this video is for the Earth sign of Taurus, our bulls, for September 2017 mid-month, the remainder of September 2017 for the Earth sign of Taurus, our lovely, grounded, sometimes stubborn bulls, our Taurians. What's the remainder of September 2017 have in store for Taurus? Okay, Taurus, we begin with the Page of Swords, followed by the Four of Swords, the Ace of Swords, followed by the Two of Pentacles, and from the bottom of the deck, your crowning card representing overall energy and guidance is the Two of Wands. So it looks like your overall energy and advice or guidance for the remainder of September 2017 is the Two of Wands. Fire energy, that's the element which governs wands, action-oriented, change, movement, action, power. The energy of the Suit of Wands is very fluid, forward-moving, assertive, action-oriented, passion, enthusiasm energy. It's about creating and building and manifesting. The Two of Wands is a card, it's about being at a crossroads, needing to make a decision, a choice. So it looks like a lot of you are at this transitional crossroads energy. And it's about needing to make a choice. And the key to choosing the right path is actually looking down the road, long-term thinking and planning, big picture goals. It's not about what you want right now to help you choose a path or a direction. It's about actually not looking at what's present, what's around you right now, looking down the road. Okay, I can't figure out which path to choose, what to do, what to set into motion. So put everything that's going on now aside in your mind for a minute and look down the road. Where do you really want to be a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now? This could be in the relationship area of your life. It could be in the work, job, career, project, creative, artistic endeavor of your life. However this plays out in whatever area of it plays out in. It's going to be different. This is a general reading. There's many of you watching. So for some of you, it may be in one area of your life, for others in another. Regardless, it looks like you have to choose a path. You have to figure out a path to start on. And the key is looking down the road in that area of your life that you're struggling with. What's your long-term goals? What's your vision? And then that makes the path to getting there clear, because how can you know which path to choose, which path to start on, if you don't know where you want to end up at, what your destination is? Because then you get distracted by what's going on around you. And this isn't the path. Choosing the right path isn't about choosing it based on what's going around you now. It's about where you want to end up. So that's your overall energy guidance and advice for the remainder of September 2017, Taurus. So we have around the middle of the month or so, second, third week, although time is somewhat fluid, as I always say, we have the Page of Swords with the Four of Swords. You have 3 swords cards here, and that's internal energy. It's actually energy up here. Air is the element which governs the suit of swords, and this is mental, cerebral, intellectual energy. It's all about that airy world of what's between our ears. It's actually how we look at things, belief systems, outlooks, and how it affects how we communicate. Truth, insight, higher education, learning. It's all about the brain, what goes on up between our ears, and how it affects how we communicate with people, with the world in general. So pages are the youngest and least mature energies of the tarot. They can represent children or young people. Some of you, the last remainder of September may be focused around a child or a young person in your life. You may be showing up as the page because sometimes it can represent childish or immature behavior or energy. Not to say that you are childish and immature, but that you might be, for the last couple of weeks of September, kind of in that energy or acting that way. And we all do that. I just turned 48 and I have times and days where I act like I'm 8. It just happens to all of us. The Page of Swords, pages also can represent messages, messengers, messages too. And this page would be delivering, Swords is about information, communication, ideas. So it would be perhaps message or information for some of you. This could be messages coming in that have to do with your long-term vision and goals. And it may have to do with what you have set as long-term visions and goals, or maybe it may put you in a position where you need to reevaluate and change those for some of you. Some of you, this is going to be centered around a child or a young person. It can be student apprenticeship energy too, because pages almost always represent being at the introductory phase of something as well. So you could be being at the beginning of a path, trying to choose which path to go based on what your long-term goals are. There's a need to withdraw a bit from any conflict or struggle or challenge. Go within and maybe seek out your own wisdom, insight, intuition, or maybe seek out advice as well. Because that Page of Swords is paired with the Four of Swords, which is a card of rest and respite, can represent feeling tired, worn out, exhausted. Some of you, this may be just as simple as a child or a young person in your life is just really wearing you out. There may be issues or problems or challenges around this child or young person, and you're really tired, worn out. You need to take some time off. You need to kind of withdraw from conflict. If you're having conflict with somebody who's representing the Page of Swords, it's about withdrawing temporarily from this conflict to recover, restore yourself, recuperate, maybe get some insight, wisdom, some feedback of some kind as well. Or the message or information that comes in, you may want to, take a step back, internalize this, figure it out, and kind of withdraw a bit while you're doing that. Now, towards the end of September 2017, we have the Ace of Swords, followed by the Two of Pentacles. So the Ace of Swords, I feel like a lot of you get to have this light bulb moment at the end of September, beginning of October, because that's pretty much what the Ace of Swords can often represent. So still that intellectual energy, how we look at things, information. Aces represent the number ones at the start of something new, new beginnings. And it's next to the page, which can represent introductory energy too. They represent potential. I always liken aces to seeds. They contain a world of potential within them, but of course they need to be planted in the right kind of soil at the right time, taken care of so that they can grow and manifest into their full potential. Otherwise, the Ace of Swords could fizzle out as a new idea which doesn't get acted on, or like the Ace of Wands, something that you start but don't follow through with, so it just doesn't ever go anywhere. They represent the beginning, a start of something which has a lot of potential if it's taken care of and nurtured so it can grow. So the Ace of Swords, so a new beginning in what? Swords is this stuff up here. So the Ace of Swords can represent an epiphany, the light bulb going off over your head, a fresh new way of looking at something, an idea, a new perspective on something. The Ace of Swords comes in and it cuts away any extraneous illusion or fantasy, and it actually clarifies, illuminates, and exposes something for what it is, and often brings answers, insight, clarity, illumination. Again, the light bulb going off over your head, a different way of looking at something, or a completely new idea on how to deal with something, on how to proceed, which obviously has something to do with your long-term vision and goals, whatever area of your life this is resonating in. So that looks like where we end the month there in this, okay, vision or getting a new idea, perspective, beginning to, and kind of going back and forth, kind of juggling things and considering that, kind of letting that sit in your head and considering that, because the Ace of Swords is paired with the Two of Pentacles, which is a card about juggling, kind of going back and forth. I feel like for a lot of you, it's not so much action-oriented the last part of September. It's kind of like in the beginning, there's this struggle, challenge, conflict. You're trying to figure it out. What do I really want long-term for yourself? And it could be actually, what do you want long-term for a child or young person as well? Needing to withdraw, maybe feeling a bit worn out. And you need to take better care of yourself, taking care of yourself, taking some time out. And then you get this idea, this different perspective or idea about it. And I feel like some of you, you may not necessarily act on it yet. We'll see how it plays out in October. You may be going back and forth, juggling this back and forth, or juggling a couple of different things, which is what Pentacles can represent. The implication being you're doing it successfully. They're both being kept in the air. There's a lot going on. He may be missing out on while he's doing this. Although he is doing it successfully. And the implication is at some point he'll need to probably choose one pentacle and focus on that. But for the time being, just kind of going back and forth. And this could be in job, work, career as well, on a career path or educational path as well. Maybe some of you may be considering going back to school, learning something new, starting something new again as well. Pentacles is earth energy, so the energy of that suit can often manifest in our tangible world. Things we can see and touch and feel, like money, finances, job, resource, career, job, etc. So again, it feels more like internal energy for the most part. You may decide to take action around the end of the month or so because, again, a different perspective or an idea, something occurs to you. You make the decision or have an offer or opportunity to start on a new path or to learn or see something in a different way or a new way or learn a new way. And overall, it's about long-term vision and goals. So kind of keep that in mind, especially before you make any major decisions. Ask yourself first, do they meet my long-term vision or goals? If not, you need to get rid of them or pare them down, because it's all about what's going to further you, move you closer to your long-term, deciding what your long-term vision and goals are, what's going to move you closer to those, or at least not get in your way. Everything else you can need to cut from your life. So Taurus, that pretty much wraps up your September 2017 mid-month reading. I hope it has been helpful to you, because that's why we do these. That it at least has brought you maybe a little bit of food for thought or some insight and clarity. Again, if any of you are interested in any personal one-on-one reading with me, you can go to my YouTube channel's homepage, click on the About or Description button or word, and that should give you some more information, and my email address, which is Maggie, it's MAGGIE, the number 1, MCGUIRE @gmail.com. I would be most happy to work with you. I will see you all again in a couple of weeks for the October 2017 general readings. And until then, my lovely bulls, Taurus, I wish you joy, peace, blessings, and a happy life. And I hope to see you back here again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.